So this is part two. Welcome. I know you're going to be in for such an amazing ride with this inspiring man as he shares with us something that is very much, I think, of not only personal journey that you have, but definitely one that is going to be not only inspiration, but it will help you if you're in that situation, if you know somebody who's in that situation. And we're going to be talking about addiction today. This is part two of our interview with Isidro Chilo Sicairos, and this is MrsDiazTalks.com. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank
Chilo,
you.
I know this is, wow, I mean, very few people are really willing to share their experience, especially when it comes to parts of our lives where there's darkness, where, we're disconnected. And addiction is, exactly that, a time in your life when you're disconnected, when you're in the dark. And, I'm so happy that, you've come to the light. You've come to experience life the way that it is intended to. But there's so much you can share with us. So please, share your experience with us this afternoon.
Well, as we spoke in part one,
Yes,
we talked about all the accomplishments
exactly.
that you could
25
say,
years of being a businessman
20,
now?
25
Yes.
years of doing a lot of things, and I've tried a lot of things, and all that was possible because of how God helped me. And that's why I always bring out God, and people are going to say, oh, here he goes again saying about God. But
No,
I always
it's
give
our
him,
faith, yeah.
I give him the glory because I wouldn't be here sitting today if it wasn't because I had a second chance.
Wow.
Let me tell the story so the audience and you can understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, go for it.
I was about 22 years old. I was young, having fun, trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. It's during the time right before I went to college, and just kind of confused young man, thinking that I was okay because I was a social, user of cocaine, marijuana,
Wow.
alcohol, and so I thought that as long as I, worked, I always had a job. I always
When
worked.
did you start? Because
When I started doing drugs, I was 16 years old.
wow.
Actually, no, I was 15. I'm sorry, I was 15. I experimented before, very little, but nothing. But when I really got, I would say, hooked, as you want to use a word.
Yeah.
It was something that you don't do drugs because they don't feel good. You use drugs because they feel good.
Exactly. Yeah.
They fill a void. And for me, it's just about 15 years old. I started having a great time here in El Centro, in this community where we live. There's not a lot of things for young people to do. So that's why some of the things that I have done in life is a way of trying to get back to my community. I try to work with young people so that they don't fall into my footsteps.
Exactly.
I want them to have better activities where they don't feel like they have to go to the antros or the nightclubs, the house parties, and get drunk and get wasted on drugs to have a good time. Because that's what I did for many, many years. So I was about 15 all the way to about
and then 22. So you hit 22.
So now I'm here at
Tell us about
22
that
years.
experience.
I'm in that experience. I'm thinking everything's okay. And my friend and I were doing cocaine. We had been partying all day, all night. We did cocaine all night. And here I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I started having my energy was gone. I was nauseated. I felt like my heart was racing so hard I couldn't get it under control.
Wow.
I was having a bad experience, and all I could think of is during that time, Len Baez, the professional basketball player who had just got a contract drafted by the NBA. I remember it was $1 million contract. It was a big thing during that time.
Oh wow.
But he had OD'd right about that time on cocaine. And that's the first person that came to my mind when I'm going through the same situation. I'm like, oh my, I'm going to go down just like Len Baez.
Wow.
Cocaine OD, overdose. And so at that moment, I started praying to God. Like I've never prayed before.
Wow.
I remember this lady that we saw.
Had you been a spiritual person before?
Yes, I always try to be, I was one of those where, I used to go to church,
Okay.
on Sunday, and,
Yeah.
and there's a God.
Okay.
But not really wanting to commit or connect with this
Got
guy.
it.
And
Got
so,
it. Got it.
but I remember there's a lady who used to always say, whenever you're in trouble, don't forget to talk to God.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I had to do. At that moment, it's the first thing I remember. I said, you know what? The solution here is I'm just going to pray to God.
Yeah.
And so I did. I started saying,
Wow.
Lord, give me another chance, please. Don't let me go like this. I will not use again.
Wow.
I had kind of promised myself this before.
Uh-huh.
You know, when I had a bad,
Experience.
I was
Yeah.
too sick in the morning. You know,
Yeah,
I think we all have those when we're users. We always like have those little, I should stop doing this. This is not healthy.
Yeah.
But somehow
We fall
life
back.
comes around and we're
Yeah.
right back at it again. And so I prayed to God that day, and God in His mercy saved me.
Wow.
And I felt His presence.
Wow.
It's one of those moments I'll never forget. That I felt this, somebody just like tapping my shoulder and said, "You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Don't worry."
Wow.
My heart stopped racing so fast. I started feeling better. I felt so better, so calm. I started getting a calm that my friend asked me, "Hey, you want another line?"
Oh, wow.
And I said, "No, man, thank you, but I'm done." Because I had just promised God that I would do it again. So in my mind, I was like, "Okay, this is it. I'm done." And I just give.
So what happened? Did you just get up and leave, or what?
And so it was about 7 in the morning. We had been up all night doing drugs and just about all day and all night. And finally, I just said, "No, you know what? I'm going home." This is it.
Wow.
That is one of those experiences that for me was the biggest thing. I really needed that. I needed to go through that.
Yeah.
And I needed God's help.
Wow.
And so from that day forward, it became about trying to get back and get over my, and it was really hard at first.
I can imagine.
It was really hard. So how I did it is I did it with a little bit of drinking. Drinking was one of those things. I could still do drinking, and I felt okay.
So you kind of started weaning yourself off.
Yes, I used alcohol as my way. Okay, I'm not gonna do cocaine no more, and I'm gonna just stay off of that. I did fall one more time. I remember we were at a wedding, and my friend offered me a line, and I took it again. But I felt the same thing as that time when I was about to pass out or OD. I don't know. It just, I felt all the symptoms coming right. It's like it was like a message to me, like, okay, oh, you want to go there again? Okay, you want to do this again? Okay, all right, you're on your own now.
Wow.
And I just said, no mas. That's it. I'm done. I cannot do this anymore.
Wow.
And that was a day that I really got convicted to say, you know what? I'm gonna do something better. I promised you, and I think I felt like I broke a promise.
Right.
And I just started looking for God. I started praying, and I started asking for His help. And here I am, 25 years later.
Wow.
Clean. Well, actually, 27 years to be.
Wow.
No, it's 28 years. 20 years.
That's just wow.
Praise God for that. And so, after going through that and being able to, it wasn't easy. It was a battle, but one of the things I found that I had to continue doing is I had to reach out to God. I kept praying, I kept asking Him to help me, and that's why He kept opening up doors for me.
Wow.
My business, group home, every place that after I started my business, it's like God was first trying to take care of the addict. He says, okay, son, I need to clean you up, I need to provide, I know you need I need to provide for you.
Yes.
And then once I felt that was taken care of, I'm like, okay. And God is like saying, okay, now son, it's time to go help others. I've already helped you, go help others now.
Well, and isn't that exactly like if you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, their 12-step program?
Correct.
You start off by admitting, and I know we were talking earlier, that at first you wouldn't admit to yourself that you were really an addict, right?
No, I thought I was just a social partier.
Yes,
Or
okay.
you want to call it,
Right.
I don't know, just like,
And
I'm
then
having a good time, that's all.
The
I'm
last
not
step.
harming nobody, I'm not going to steal from nobody.
Right. And so we do that to ourselves, right?
Yes.
Every time, I know I do that to myself when it comes to eating. It's like, no, it's just okay, this is a party, I'll just, I'm not putting this on the same level of,
Addictions are addictions.
But addictions are addictions,
It can be shopping.
Yeah, it can be.
For me, it was drugs.
Yeah.
And I felt this, the funny thing is I would do drugs and I feel like, I got this, like, there's nothing I can't do now.
Wow.
Like, I feel like, you feel invincible. You don't do drugs because make you feel down.
Exactly.
They don't bring you down, they bring you up.
Exactly.
And you find the one that you like. And But I realized that I could not live like that. I was playing with my own life.
Exactly.
And then I realized that I wasn't going to succeed in life that way.
Exactly.
When you're young, and that's when you're hearing everybody's starting to do things. They're already, friends of mine were already starting to finish, almost going to finish college, and I'm still here hanging around doing drugs instead of going to do something positive,
Right,
you know?
right.
And so I felt this desire to beat the addiction and say, you know what, I got to leave that behind. And I just trusted that God was going to help me.
Right.
And He did. He took me along this journey. Like I said, 28 years now. And I was able to, all the things that I've done were because I felt that God was challenging me.
Right.
Like when I work with young people, it's so that they don't go and do what I did.
Exactly.
It's like give them an example of motivate them, encourage them to go to school, to stay in school, to do better in life.
Right.
That they can do it.
Right.
That if I did it, why can't you?
Exactly.
And
inspiration.
That's always been my drive. The day that I had that experience and I started seeing that God was opening up doors for me, He was helping me, and I gave myself to God during that time.
Yeah.
Got baptized in my Christian faith, and it's been a beautiful journey with God.
Wow.
I couldn't have it any better.
Awesome.
God's been so good to me.
You know what I wanted to mention is that 12-step program that they have. The 12th step, the final step, is to help someone else. Right? And I want you to know that this vlog that I do is my 12th step.
Awesome.
Just so you know.
Great.
So you're part of this.
I'm glad to be part of it.
You're part of this. This is my 12th step where I recognize, where I am, what my real situation, is, and I'll tell you about that later. But it's I think that's key. And when people want to change, when people want to stop whatever is limiting their life, whatever's limiting them from being who they were meant to be, we can't just stop at okay, I'm clean, or I'm done, I don't do that anymore, or I don't gamble, I don't shop excessively, I don't eat excessively. You have to help someone else, and I think that's key. And we would in our part one, I was telling you guys about how Chilo, he is a community volunteer, continually offering his time, his services, to just help people, especially young people. And I think that is as you were saying, that's a burden on your heart, because you want other kids, young people, to know, hey, there is a different way, there is a way out, there is some purpose to life, and you just need to figure out what that is. And for you, I think it's really been sharing your story.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you one of the points that I want to share that is, I think, important to the audience, is that when I went on this journey, is that opportunity to work for the group home came up for my wife and I. Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go help these kids. Oh, I'm going to go, God wants me to do this for these kids. I'm going to inspire them to do better and tell them that, just be support for them.
Right.
And I get there, they give us so much training. They have psychologists that are with their doctorates. I mean, there was a lady who was amazing, and she started talking to us. And when she started talking to us, I felt like when they were supposedly describing the children that we were going to be dealing with, they were actually describing me.
Oh, wow.
Of what I went through when I was young.
Oh.
And sometimes we carry baggage, and that's why we go to addictions to kind of cover whatever issue we have. So I got free counseling.
Wow.
Without having, counseling can be expensive, and I'm all about numbers, so I'm always thinking about, okay, so.
You got free counseling while you were there?
3 years. 3 years of counseling. Wow. Anytime I had any questions, I could talk to these doctors, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, they would give us 8 hours of training, like every month. We would go to this, I was up in India, we would sit at a Holiday Inn, they'd give us this training all day long. It got a little boring sometimes. I have to admit, I almost fell asleep sometimes, but I'm so glad that I was there, because a lot of the times, I felt like they were talking about me.
Wow.
They were describing the old Chilo,
or
still the Chilo that needed to improve.
Right.
And so another thing is that's the reason I make this point, is that when I was there thinking I was helping them, God was actually reaching out to me.
Exactly.
So that I could be a better help for them.
Exactly.
So when we're addicts, we need to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
We need to go find some real answers to our life. What is it
Exactly.
that has
What is
taken
it
us
that
there?
you're, exactly.
And if you need counseling, you've got to go get counseling.
Right.
I've gotten counseling to church.
Yeah.
Church has brought in wonderful advice from counselors
Right.
who have helped to give you methods on how to overcome my addictions.
Uh-huh.
And so it's one of those things that it's been a support group. Also, I also encourage people to go and find some support group.
Yes.
Go find a positive vibe group of people that are trying to do something positive.
Yes.
Not thinking, oh, we're victims, we're gonna go get high to forget about it. No, put the cigarette, put the joint down, whatever you want to call it nowadays. I'm so disconnected from all that, and I want to stay like that.
Yeah.
But 20 years of just put the drug down, whatever your addiction is, and go and figure it out. Like, go help.
So
you find a way to get out of where you're at.
Right. First of all, you ask for help, right? You said you
Yes,
ask God for
yes.
help. That's the first step.
Thank you. I got a little lost right there, so it's okay.
No. I just want to recap as we come. We're coming to a close of our time together. You definitely, step one, ask for help.
Ask for
right?
help.
I mean, you ask God for help. Whatever your faith is,
Yes.
ask for help.
He could be a counselor also.
And then counseling. Get out and help other people. I mean, you have to find purpose in your life because we have voids. Even some of us who might think that we had the best parents or as human beings, we all have like these spaces that there's I was listening to a psychotherapist who's very popular right now on social media, and she's talking about how as communities we have stopped coming together, and filling those needs that we have of each other.
Correct.
And now we look for them, like what a village used to do for us, right?
Yes.
And what God used to do for us, whatever that is for everybody, right?
Correct.
whatever faith you have, that used to do for us. We've lost that connection, and so now we're looking for it, and that's why there's such a surge. Like so many people divorcing because your spouse doesn't fill you the way you want them to fill you, and you're always looking for something to fill you. And I think when we speak of addictions, it's definitely true in that because we're looking to fill something, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah, that's true. And so for me, it was helping to find what were my issues. And there's so many things that sometimes take you to that. It could be family issues. You come from a broken home.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just so low self-esteem because you have believed the negativity of negative people that you surround yourself by. So that's what I'm trying to say is that you need to be around positive people
Right,
that
that's
are out
the
to
other thing to
help
say.
you also,
Exactly.
that want the best for you.
Exactly.
If you know somebody is taking advantage of you, you need to get away from there.
Yeah.
And they're trying to give you bad advice. You gotta get away from there.
Exactly.
And we hear it everywhere. It's just, suck it up and don't stop being so stupid or whatever. If people start putting you down, you gotta wake up and realize, hey, I'm in the wrong environment.
Exactly.
I need to go sign up and be in a better group.
Wow.
In a group that's gonna make you and challenge you.
Yes.
My church is one of the great things about my church. I learn from others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I learned so much from others. Doctors, psychiatrists, architects, teachers. I mean, it's when you bring that amount of people that want to do the good, how can you not overcome?
Right? You kind of see, those are role models that you could, hey, you know what? I want to do that too.
Or I have an advice. I need advice. I need some true advice.
Exactly.
And it's not that there is an agenda because they're a lot of times they're willing to give their time away for free.
Exactly.
Because it's their way of saying thank you, God, because you blessed me.
Exactly.
And it's in that kind of environment. Come on, how can it not help somebody who's got addictions?
Right.
And just like they help you, now it's your turn to help others. So it's like everybody, you start thinking so much about yourself.
Right.
And you get it. So it's good to be involved in some kind of activity that's more about others than about yourself.
Wow.
And
Okay.
to me, that has helped a lot. That's why I worked at the group home. I had my little soccer team. I had a travel team. I coached soccer at the mission school as a
Yes.
soccer coach. It's my medicine.
Yeah.
That's what fills my void. I want to be part of something better.
And
And so I don't need that other addiction. Now this is probably my new addiction.
Well, and I think that trying consistently to fill your life with more positives is definitely going to bring you into purpose.
Correct.
And that's awesome. Chilo, we're so thankful again for your just being open to sharing your story, because I think it's definitely something that needs to be spread. People need to know that being a successful
We're
entrepreneur.
human. We're all human.
Yeah,
We need help.
and look, you're a successful entrepreneur. You have you're successful in your personal life with your wife and your kids. And I'm not saying this
Not
is
perfect,
perfection.
but
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes,
but
no, I'm going there.
I'm happy. I am happy, but
No,
I'm not
in
perfect.
the sense of you're always striving.
We have to ask forgiveness sometimes.
We all do.
Both ways. So that's
Right? All do.
yeah. So I
We
say
all
it so
do.
that I don't want to perceive myself as
No. And I didn't want to set you up that way. What I'm saying, when I mean successful, is that not that because you do not get to success unless you fail,
Yes.
right? I mean,
I'm very
that,
happy with my girls.
right? And and
Finish school.
and as parents, as spouses, we all go through failures
Yes.
in order to achieve success. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just want, because I know I'm the first one to say, yeah, no. So Chilo, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Chilo has more to share with us. Part 3, we're going to talk about a more recent part of his life
Yes.
where, and I'm
One of the darkest chapters of my life.
Yes, and I think that is going to benefit not only the men that listen to this story, but also to the women who share in these very difficult mental health issues, because a lot of people, now we have more athletes and artists talking about it, but a few years ago people wouldn't come out and talk about the fact that as human beings we experience issues with our mental health. So I'm thankful. Don't miss out part 3 where Chilo's going to be sharing with us even more things that will bless and inspire you. So as always, we invite you to to subscribe to our channel. My kids always get me about that. Mom, it's subscribe, not like.
Okay.
But subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it, and bless others. Don't forget, elevate your frequency so you can live. Blessings. See you next week.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you, Chilo.